Have you ever felt a strange sense of dread when you're given too many choices? That paradoxical feeling of being overwhelmed not by limitation, but by freedom itself? We crave independence. We fight for liberty. We champion free will. But what if I told you that freedom, real freedom, terrifies us? In this video, we're diving into the hidden psychological burden of freedom, exploring existential philosophy, the human tendency to escape responsibility, and how modern life distracts us from our most powerful yet uncomfortable truth, that we are free, and with that freedom comes the weight of our existence. Let's get into it. Section 1. The Paradox of Freedom. Let's start with a question. What does it mean to be truly free? Is it the ability to do whatever we want, to go wherever we like, to say what we believe? Existential philosophers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Simone de Beauvoir argued something deeper. For them, freedom isn't just about external liberties, it's about internal ownership, the radical ability to choose your path, define your values, and live authentically without blaming the universe, society, or fate. But here's the twist. When we're faced with this level of freedom, real, raw freedom, we panic. Why? Because the moment you realize no one else is writing your script, you also realize that every mistake, every failure, and every regret is on you. And that is terrifying. Section 2. Sartre's anguish. Sartre called this anguish. Imagine standing on the edge of a cliff. You look down. The drop is dizzying. But what really shakes you isn't the height. It's the thought that nothing's stopping you from jumping. That's the metaphor Sartre used for freedom. It's not external forces that keep you in line. It's your own terrifying awareness that you could choose to leap. That feeling, that queasy, anxious sense of responsibility, that's anguish. And here's the kicker. According to Sartre, we live with this every single day. We just suppress it. We distract ourselves with routine, labels, and expectations to avoid facing the raw truth. We are free, and we are responsible for everything we become. Section 3. The Flight from Freedom. But if freedom is so important, why do we run from it? Social psychologist Erich Fromm had an answer. In his book, Escape from Freedom, he argued that modern humans, given the freedom they always wanted, often traded away in exchange for security, belonging, and certainty. Think about it. Why do we follow trends, stick to social roles, obey authority even when it conflicts with our values? It's not always fear of punishment. Sometimes it's fear of choice. When someone else tells you who to be, you're off the hook. You can blame the system, your upbringing, or society for your unhappiness. But when you choose for yourself, there's no one left to blame. So, ironically, many people prefer being told what to do over the anxiety of defining their own meaning. Section 4. Bad Faith and the False Self. Sartre had a name for this escape. Bad faith. Bad faith is when you lie to yourself, not in words, but in how you live. It's when you pretend you're just a waiter, just an employee, just a mother, just a student, as if these roles are you, rather than something you do. It's when you hide behind your title to avoid taking full ownership of your freedom. We've all done this. We've all slipped into the comfort of the false self, the image we present to the world to protect ourselves from the chaos of real authenticity. But here's the truth. Existentialism forces us to face. You are not a role. You are a being, and that being is responsible for choosing what it becomes, moment to moment. Section 5. Authenticity is the cure. So what's the solution? How do we live with the burden of freedom without collapsing under its weight? The answer is authenticity. To live authentically is not to be perfect, but to be honest with yourself. To stop pretending. To stop outsourcing your choices. To face the uncertainty of life and say, I may not know where I'm going, but the path I walk will be mine. It's not easy. It means feeling fear and choosing anyway. It means taking risks without guarantees. It means accepting the truth that meaning isn't given, it's made. But in that struggle lies the only real freedom, because only when you take responsibility for your life can you shape it into something beautiful, something worthy, something truly yours. Section 6. The modern distraction. Now let's bring this into the present. We live in an age of infinite options, endless scrolling, constant stimulation, curated identities, and yet more people than ever feel lost, anxious, and disconnected. Why? Because all this noise drowns out our inner voice. When you're constantly distracted, constantly consuming, you don't have to think about who you are or what you value. You don't have to ask the hard questions. It's easier to binge a show than face your despair. It's easier to repost a quote than wrestle with your beliefs. It's easier to adopt someone else's dream than figure out your own. But here's the quiet revolution. Unplug, reflect, choose. The more you reconnect with your freedom, the more you reclaim your life. Conclusion. So, why do we fear freedom? Because it's messy, it's painful, it's full of doubt, but it's also the one thing that makes us truly human. Freedom gives us the power to change, to grow, to create meaning where there was none. It's not a burden to escape, but a gift to embrace. So, the next time you feel lost, ask yourself, what am I running from? And maybe, just maybe, the answer isn't fear of failure. Maybe it's fear of being free. If this video made you think, consider subscribing. We dive deep into philosophy, psychology, and the hidden forces that shape our lives. Leave a comment below. What does freedom mean to you? And remember, your life is your masterpiece. Don't let anyone else hold the brush.